5 for the price of 4 at an unbeatable price of $80. Hear what our directors have to say about Westport Community Theater's exciting season lineup. First, Neil Simon revisits his days as a comedy writer in Laughter on the 23rd Floor.
I don't know if you know this, but I used to be the agent for all the writers on the show of shows. I represented Neil Simon for all his plays, Mel Brooks, Woody Allen, Larry Gelbart, and every day they would come to the office and I would just laugh until I died. I thought it was just hysterical. And that's what this play is about. Because this play it's almost as if Neil Simon, and we used to call him Doc, it's almost as if he wrote down every line that they ever said. The play is absolutely excruciating. And we have a cast that is so dynamite. Listen, Oscar, tell them. Tell them how funny this is. See? His tail is wagging. Listen, I hope everyone comes to see this show. There is nobody greater than Neil Simon. When it comes to laughs, he's the master.
A lawyer has a deadly encounter with the spirit world in the Victorian thriller Woman in Black.
It's a ghost story basically about a young solicitor who goes to goes to this place in the moors in England. It takes place in Victorian times. Then a lot of very strange things start happening to him. Arthur Kipps, the solicitor, is now an older man, and he engages a young actor to help him tell the story in an empty Victorian theater. And that's where we come in. It's two actors. And there's a lot of strange things happening on stage that you might not expect in the theater. The film version that was done last year with Daniel Radcliffe playing the young Arthur Kipps, it's a very different animal. It's the same story. A lot of the same things are recounted, but in very, very different ways. I saw this play in London in 1991, and it scared the living bejeebs out of me. It really did. It's creepy. Very creepy. One of the creepiest things I've ever seen on stage. And I always liked it. I enjoyed it. And a few years later, I kind of went back online to see, how long it had lasted, and I realized it had never gone off stage. It's still running. It's been 23 years in the West End. 7 million people have seen this play. And very few Americans know it. I mean, I've been talking to people about doing the show, and they said, "Oh, is that the story? That's the thing with Radcliffe." And I said, "Well, yes and no, but it's the same story. But there's a lot. It's a very theatrical thing, and I think we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun with it."
An unexpected tragedy threatens to break up a couple's marriage in David Lindsey-Abaire's Pulitzer Prize-winning drama Rabbit Hole.
One of my, I think every parent's worst nightmare that you don't even think about, you keep it out of your head, is the loss of your child. And for me, theater, as a director and as an actor and as audience, is a great process of dealing with demons and fears like that, and working through them and facing things that you wouldn't usually face. I learned from watching people, and I think that this is very close to watching real people deal with a very real thing and coming through it.
Hilarity ensues when an English household is turned upside down in A.A. Milne's classic drawing room comedy, Mr. Pym Passes By.
The father of the family is very traditional, and he doesn't like change. He doesn't like anything to change. So he wants the drapes that his grandparents had and the carpet that his grandparents had. And his wife is a little bit more iconoclastic, and she's got some notions about the draperies and the furniture. And she also is a little bit more modern in terms of romance. But basically it's a nice stable circle with uncles, etc. And into that circle comes the stranger. In this case, it's a nondescript gentleman called Mr. Pym. And he's just passing by, but he drops in with some sort of message or some sort of obligation to visit. And in the course of conversation, he mentions that he knew someone who unfortunately is married to the wife of the family. If in fact this man is still alive, she thought he was dead. If he's still alive, then the marriage that she's currently in is bigamous. This very proper husband of hers is a scandal, and they have no idea what to do about it. From this, the entire play proceeds. Mr. Pym drops by more than once, and every time, well, we learn to say, oh my God, what has he got to say next? It's a charming, delightful comedy. It is on its surface very light, and in its substance, it has more weight. It has a more food for thought. Most people know Milne as the author, the creator of Winnie the Pooh and the celebrator of Christopher Robin. And we associate him with a certain kind of fantasy and a certain kind of charm. Those elements continue in Mr. Pym Passes By, but they're more adult, better keyed to the adult audience. It's nice once in a while to look at the popular dramas of the time and the ones that did not survive as classics, but only survive because people continue to enjoy them. And I think that Mr. Pym Passes By is in that same category, and I think that people are going to enjoy it very much.
Finally, a talk show host and a disgraced ex-president play cat and mouse in the critically acclaimed political drama Frost-Nixon.
Frost-Nixon, for those of you who have maybe not seen the movie or seen the play, is a dramatization of the last few years of the Nixon presidency, really through the lens of the British talk show host David Frost, who, after Nixon had resigned, managed to pull the money together to get the former president to sit down for a series of interviews. David Frost's career is on the downward spiral, so he was looking for a way to give a shot to his career. And one way would be to get Nixon, who needed money, as you said, a pretty much disgraced president who's trying to redeem his part of history too. And of course, David Frost was saying, well, I'm going to try to get the president to confess that what he did was, immoral. There's a lot of humor, and that's, I mean, there are some great moments in it that people are going to laugh. So, so besides being the drama that it is, there's so much folly in it too that I think everybody can relate to.
5 great plays. Get one free when you subscribe. Plus, a subscriber's bonus of 2 free tickets. The best subscription deal in Fairfield County. Don't miss out. See you in the seats.